A very good morning to all our Sports Today family members. India are going for the Gill. That is what is one of the headlines in one of the most prominent newspapers has mentioned. And indeed, day two was dominant for India. 77 for 3, England have been reduced to. Shubman Gill, 269 of the finest runs. And India are absolutely going for the jugular. Today is a vital day in realizing where this test match is going to go, because day 3 India will be hoping to bundle England out and then take a massive lead, bat England out of the test match, and then go and level the series 1-1. But whether the rest of the bowlers can take 20 wickets, that is a major thing that you'll have to look at. However, there is one small bit of news, but it isn't that overtly concerning when you look at it. Ravindra Jadeja came to the ground early at Edgbaston. He broke one of the basic BCCI standard operating procedures because Ravindra Jadeja came on his own in Edgbaston. And then what he did was he was practicing early. He was ensuring he was having a session so that India could avoid the collapse that happened twice to them at Leeds. Now, what does one of the standard BCCI SoPs state in the aftermath of the BGT debacle? No player will come on their own or will travel on their own. They will come with the team bus. They will come with the entire team. Wherever they go, they need proper BCCI permission. But Ravindra Jadeja is not going to get sanctioned because he came to the ground. He came to the ground to practice, and that is why kind of when you look at it, the sanctions won't apply there, because it's not as if he missed a training session or he didn't go to the ground with the team. He came earlier than the team to the ground, and that is why Ravindra Jadeja, although he may have flouted one of the BCCI procedures, he will not be sanctioned for it because he did not go anywhere else apart from the ground. So this is the current procedure that is going on. Whatever in the debacle of the BGT, you saw that certain players were going on their own, they had arranged for their own transport, they just did not come with the team. Here, the clear-cut procedure is anybody who wants to travel to the ground or anywhere else must be with the team. They have to go in the team bus together. They cannot go anywhere else. If they have to go anywhere else, it needs proper BCCI permission. Here, Ravindra Jadeja did not go anywhere. He arranged for his own thing and he went to the ground to practice. So that is why Ravindra Jadeja is not going to get sanctioned by the BCCI. However, in the current test match, today is a vital day with the spinners coming into play. Will Washington Sundar and Ravindra Jadeja get some purchase? Because still, the pitch might be dry. But will it give you turn? There was slow turn on offer in the first 2 days. But because Gill batted so brilliantly, this is the way how we are looking at it. England bat deep, remember. And that is why this is going to be a very important day. If England managed to bat out the entire day without too many wickets lost, then I would say India might have lost the initiative to win the test match. But remember, the weather is very dodgy on day 4 and day 5. There is some bit of rain predicted, but it is not going to be pouring rain which will wash out an entire day. No, you will just ensure that yes, you don't have to, maybe a session might be delayed. That is the only thing that we are looking at. But there is a weather threat on the 4th and the 5th days, on Saturday and Sunday. So let's see how that pans out. When you have to look at others, Australia versus West Indies is going on at Grenada, and you saw Alzari Joseph pick up a 4-wicket haul. You saw Shamar Joseph also bowl well. Australia were in big trouble in Grenada, but then the likes of Bo Webster, Alex Carey and the tail once again bundled Australia out. 286. They had lost some play due to rain, and when they wanted to come out, bad lights stopped play. And that is why West Indies will be wondering, maybe we should have had a chance to ensure that we got there. But then it's not an easy pitch. With the Duke's ball, with the greeny pitch that is there in Grenada, it is not easy at all. And West Indies will be really wondering that how we can pass through that tough phase. Hazelwood, Stark, Cummins, Lyon, plus Bo Webster. This is going to be a big challenge for the West Indies today when they come out to bat. 286 might not look too daunting, but remember, in the series that you have had in West Indies, batting has been a challenge. You saw in Barbados how it happened. Here, because West Indies now have an emerging crop of bowlers, the pitches have become really green. They have become seam friendly, swing friendly, and that's why it's not going to be easy for the Aussies and for the West Indies batters to go in this match. Remember, if you win this test match, if Australia wins the test match, they win another series in the West Indies. But if West Indies win, it all lines up for a fascinating finale, the pink ball test match that will be held at Sabina Park. And that's going to be very interesting indeed. Now, as far as other sporting events is concerned, Kidambi Srikanth is in the quarterfinals of the Canada Open, and that's going to be interesting. The veteran trying to regain lost ground. But then the chess world, Abbas. Chess is really seeing something very special because yesterday Gukesh managed to beat Magnus Carlsen, and boy oh boy, Gary Kasparov, one of the greats of the game, has said that now you have to start questioning Magnus Carlsen. You have to start questioning his dominance because it wasn't a big win. It was a convincing Gukesh. Gukesh played like an absolute machine yesterday against Magnus Carlsen. Because of that, Gukesh is in miles ahead. He's in the lead. Today is the final round of the rapid leg. Then you will have the blitz leg that's going to take place. Gukesh has already made a major statement. He is going to play Magnus again in the blitz leg. So that's going to be very interesting. If he can hold his own in the blitz leg, he's made an emphatic statement. Now it's very interesting. Like, whenever Magnus Carlsen has spoken about Gukesh and his chances, he's always done well. Look at the candidates. Magnus actually had kept Gukesh at the bottom of the pile, saying that he may not do well, but he did well. World Championship also, Magnus Carlsen just wasn't up to the... He said that, okay, Gukesh might struggle, but he did win. Whenever he had that barb in Norway chess, Gukesh won. And here also, a weaker player. He's one of the weaker players, but then Gukesh beat him. Now, everybody will say that reeks of arrogance, but Magnus Carlsen is the GOAT. There was some validity in the way how he said it. So that's why you have to look into the whole account. Prior to Gukesh being called a weak player, did he have a good record in Rapid and Blitz? No, he didn't. Superbet Rapid and Blitz in Zagreb is probably going to change that entire procedure. So that's why I am just going to say Magnus Carlsen perhaps needs to tone down a bit, but you can't stop the GOAT. And anyway, in a classic Magnus Carlsen response, I'm just not playing the way I want to, and I'm just not in the flow. Once again, he's bored. Whenever he gets beaten by Gukesh, Magnus Carlsen's bored. So that is the way how we are looking at it. That's the eccentricity with which you have to live. A flawed genius by Magnus Carlsen. So that's the way we're looking at it. Today is the final 3 rounds. Let's see how that pans out. And that is how we are going to look at it. We are also building up to the Chess World Cup. The Women's Chess World Cup is going to start in Panchumi tomorrow. Let's see how that pans out. 9 Indians in the fray. Can they give you glory? So that is going to be very interesting indeed. So I'll just take a couple of comments. Satvik Goel is saying, so that do you think Magnus underestimates Gukesh and deliberately pass comments to pull him down, and when he loses, he doesn't feel like playing chess anymore? Well, as I said, Magnus is a flawed genius. He is really not up to the mark when you see even a bored Magnus Carlsen. Norway. Let's be very honest about it. Even a bored Carlsen managed to win Norway. Here, he's not been playing well in the rapid legs, but then he can make a comeback in the blitz. There have been occasions when he's won 9 straight games. There has been an occasion. So that is why Gukesh and everybody else in the world will have to really be wary. And I think, see, he does make valid comments. Let's not degrade his comments for that. There were statistics to prove that. So I don't think he deliberately does it and he underestimates. No, I don't think. ZXC saying the weak player beat Magnus again, now the sole leader of the tournament. Yes, he is the sole leader of the tournament. Gukesh OP, that's the way. Austin Kuna, is Gill Stoosian the best knock ever by an Indian in England? No, I would say Rahul Dravid 148 in Leeds. I have not seen the likes of Vengsarkar at Lords. I mean, unfortunately, we didn't have that much of media coverage back then. I would say Gavaskar 2-1 at Oval. Look at the backdrop of it and look at the way how he countered it. He gave India belief they could chase down and they've just fell short by 9 runs. I would say Gavaskar 2-1 remains the best at Oval, followed by Dravid 148 at Leeds. I would also place Kohli 149 because he had to silence the critics that he couldn't place in swinging conditions. So that's the way I look at it. And Freaking Awesome is saying Bo Webster is quite impressive. He has played some crucial knocks. He's far more consistent than Cameron Green. Before the injury, I think he played a couple of significant innings in the New Zealand tour. Well, Bo Webster did play a good knock against India and he did show his utility there as well. So, yeah, I think Green is not looking the same ever since his back stress fracture. I think there's something wrong in that. India versus Bangladesh USA has been called or not. See, there might be a report coming soon that India versus Bangladesh might be postponed, but it is not cancelled. And India should not enforce follow on. England won by 10 runs even after conceding 586 runs was Austin 1894 first innings. But Austin Kuna, that is, you're talking about 131 years ago. Cricket has changed in a big way. Slightly after, but now that ban series is off, India will have to pick a 15 directly for the T20 Asia Cup. It's a tough one for selectors without any T20 before that. Well, let's see how that pans. Gukesh or Tirupati Tiger indeed. Not just Magnus, all the West jealous of India raised because he never raised any comment in any other players. Or Chinese don't bootlick Carlsen, be called a spade. He never liked Indians. No. Wrong. I would say no one. Wrong. Magnus is very respectful of whatever is there of Indian players. See, he doesn't believe that they have that mentality and that is not a wrong thing. But yes, most Western chess fans have started becoming racist because of India's development. But Magnus alone, he doesn't hate India or he doesn't like Indians. His standard is so high that he expects others to kind of come close to it. That is the thing with Magnus Carlsen. And a Freaking Awesome, India can't lose from here. Whether this game led towards draw or India will win depends on how England are going to play today. On a wicket like this, I don't think India will enforce a follow-on even if we get a good lead. No, I don't think it is going to happen. So, Magnus downplays Gukesh because of his bias towards freestyle chess to sportsman. Yeah, true. That's also there. I mean, his war with FIDE and with Gukesh now being the face of FIDE because he's the world chess champion. Maybe that is the case that's going on. So, can Gill break the all-time series? Bradman 974, at least India's record of Gavaskar 774. Gavaskar 774. That is looking far more likely. Bradman 974. I don't think so. Fabi is also underplaying Gukesh on his podcast. Glad Gukesh crushed him. Indeed, Gukesh has crushed both Fabi and Magnus in Zagreb. So today, let's see how that pans out in the final 3 rapid rounds. Then you'll have the Blitz section starting from tomorrow. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. And what if Magnus takes these losses and makes entry to World Championship cycle? Pawan Kulkarni. No. Not happening, my friend. Magnus isn't coming at all. Now, Gukesh should be very careful now. He lost the same way in Vaikansee and Norway. Magnus still the goal. Indeed, he is. He has to be very careful indeed. So, bye-bye. See you soon.